Today we're looking at the Ford Granada, and my dad bought a Mark 1 and I absolutely loved it. Today we're looking at a Mark 2 gear estate, and quite frankly, it's absolutely huge. The Mark II Granada was launched in 1977 and it was known within Fords as a Granada 78. That was because it was launched in the latter part of 77, ready for the 78 model year. Now, the Mark II was essentially a Mark I skin with the new panels added on to create a more squarer look to the car. In fact, the estate version was really a Mark II front with a Mark I body added on the back, because you couldn't really distinguish the difference between the two. In fact, this window was a crossover from the Mark I. These cars were imported from Germany, and gone was the Essex engine, and inside this was a Cologne V6. In 1981, Ford gave the car a facelift. Gone was the black grille, that became colour coded, and on the gear version here you've got the chrome one with the chrome bumpers, which are more surround. The saloon version had different tail lights, and on this one you had the front washers for the headlights. The interior of the car was pretty much the same. They did update the display on the dashboard. We had a bit of a trip computer going on up here, which was first introduced in the Cortina, and the fabulous sunroof with the windy bit. I loved the windy bit, it was great. But oh dear, the buttons just come off. But and of course the fantastic winding sunroof. But what about in the back? In the back, it's absolutely huge. You can get absolutely everything in here, including the kitchen sink. But that's the trouble with buying a classic estate, because sometimes they can be a bit of a workhorse and they've been knocked about a bit. But not in this case. This is actually in really good condition. So who owns this wonderful car? The owner is friend of Classic Car Stories, Gary Costello. Hi Gary.
Hi Adam.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks.
Now, you claim that classic cars find you, not the other way around. So tell us about your Ford Granada.
Well, that's my excuse that they find me. I always loved the Ford Granada. I mean, who growing up in my era wouldn't want a Ford Granada, watching the Sweeney and all of that?
Exactly.
My dad had one.
Yeah.
Not a Gear X. He had a basic GL model.
Was that the Mark 1 or Mark 2?
It was a Mark 2 saloon, earlier than this, Mark, not the facelift one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just always liked them. Back in the 90s, I was going to get one when I actually went and test drove it, and I was going to go for it. But once I looked up how much insurance was going to cost me and how much petrol it ate, I decided against it because I just didn't have the funds for it, really. Yeah. So now it's just the time I can afford it and have it. So why not?
So we forward to 2025. You're looking through the small ads, and what happened?
So I saw this car, watched it for some months, and it hadn't sold. So to me, that's fate. It's, you know, like, and eventually I went and looked at it.
Yeah.
Chatted to the guy. I didn't want to pay what he was asking for it, and I walked away from it, and I was really proud of myself for walking away, because I'm very good at buying them.
Yes.
Not so good at selling them. And the guy came back to me a few weeks later, and said that he would accept the offer that I'd left on the table. Right. And I still don't know, because I've got a few classics, as you know. Yeah. And I thought, do I really need another classic? And obviously I convinced myself that I did. And here is the
hence
result
the car
of that.
Finding you again.
Finding me again.
The fate of him saying, do you know what? I'll take the offer.
Yes,
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is.
So Gary, being the Gear X, it's got lots of fantastic extras. So can you talk us through what this car's got?
Yeah, I mean, for the 80s, it was quite remarkable, really, what it had on it. Electric seats, not only backwards and forwards, but height adjustable. Right. Heated seats, air conditioning, powered steering, even the interior lights on a delay when you get out. It just so many sort of buttons to play with, really. Yeah, it's
and
fantastic.
The thing that I always loved, as a kid, I loved the idea you could wash the front headlights.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how good that is, but yeah, you can wash the front.
And they used to have the wipers on them as well, on the Volvos, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, little wipers
brilliant.
on the Volvos.
Yeah. Now, on Classic Car Stories, we have the Clunk Test, Gary. You might have seen it.
All right, okay.
Yeah, where we see how well the doors shut on a single push. Now, at the moment, the P6 is in the lead because that clunked beautifully. So before we try this out, what do you think it's going to do? What sort of score out of 10?
It's good. It shuts like a Golf.
Shuts like a Golf. That's pretty impressive. Let's see if it shuts like a Golf. Go for it. That's pretty good. What do you think? What sort of score should we say on there? What score out of 10?
You tell me. You shot more doors than me.
I shot the doors. Okay, I'm thinking that's got to certainly be a 7. Definitely a 7. What do you think about a 7?
Yeah, okay, I'm
You'll go with a 7. Okay. Well, Gary, it is a lovely car, but what's it like to drive?
It's like a boat.
Now, the tyres on this are interesting, aren't they? Tell us about that.
Well, from what I was told, the tyres are shared with a Ferrari. They was only used on this car and a Ferrari.
Right.
And are extremely expensive to replace against other tyres.
Ah.
But I have looked up online and they're about £250 to £300 per tyre.
Oh, okay.
So quite expensive.
Yeah.
But you can change to other Granada wheels if you went to like a later Scorpio Granada.
Yeah, okay.
You can put those wheels on and tyres would be much cheaper.
I have to be honest, I actually really love the Mark 1. And this is a great car, but the Mark 1 I'm in love with because I have a soft spot for that, as I said earlier, because my dad had the Mark 1 Granada. But what do you think? Is it a Mark 1 for you or a Mark 2? Leave that in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like and to share. And if you have a classic car, then why not pop over to my Facebook page, This Is My Classic, and post a picture of your car, because we'd love to see it. I first got into the Ford Granada though from watching the TV show The Sweeney. What about you?
Yeah, I love The Sweeney. I used to watch it with my dad. It was a great show.
Me too. And you know, chasing down the Jags and all of that. It was just fabulous. That's when I first sort of fell in love with it. But I think it's about time you did your John Thor impression.
Put your trousers on, you're nicked.
Now, let us know what you think of the Ford Granada Mark II. Please leave your messages in the comments below. Don't forget to like and to share. And as always, make sure you subscribe. But if you like the Ford Granada, the original Granada was called the Consul. So maybe you'll enjoy this video all about the Ford Consul.